Alright guys, just wrapped up prejudging and didn't go the way I really wanted to. I got third call outs. But you know, it is a really competitive show, Chicago Pro, and a lot of the guys are a lot older, so I feel like, you know, it's just a matter of time for me to get up there. I just feel like I need a lot more size. Really don't have anything planned after the show yet. You know, I don't have any other shows lined up. My goal was to do this one, and then my goal was to do San Jose and then this one, and then there's Tampa in like I think 5 weeks, but you know, I'm going to take a few days to think about it and see if, you know, it's a good move for me to do. Because realistically, I just feel like, you know, I got to be bigger to really dominate these shows. So, you know, I do want to win. So it's just, I want to go into these shows knowing that I'm capable of winning and not worry about, oh, I need to be bigger or whatever it is. But it's definitely a learning process. I learned something from every single show, and, you know, that's a win for me at the end of the day. Overall, you know, I had a great time, you know, carving up for the show, coming out here. So just going to make the best of my time while I'm out here and, you know, just have fun, you know, try to eat some deep dish pizza. I know in Chicago they're really known for that. So probably do some deep dish pizza later and just explore around, just rest up. I know I have finals tonight, and I'm probably going to be getting another burger in about an hour. But, you know, I just want to take the time to thank you guys for really, you know, following my journey and supporting me through ups and downs. You know, it's a journey for me, and I take something away from every single experience I have, whether it be a good one or a bad one. So this time, you know, third call outs, you know, I guess I'm not what the judges were looking for, but at the end of the day, you know, everybody looked great. You know, it's a elite level show. Everybody here is they're all pros, and some of the guys come in really sharp. So, you know, hats off to them. They all look great, and it's a pleasure being able to compete with these guys. You know, it's a privilege for me. What's up, guys? ifbbpro Stephen Cow here. Just wanted to give you guys a little update with, you know, what I'm up to and how my show in Chicago and Tampa went. I obviously didn't, you know, as you guys can see, I didn't upload a video showing you guys, you know, the outcome of the shows. If you guys follow me on, you know, Instagram, you guys probably have a better idea on how things went. But for all the people on YouTube, I want to give you guys a better insight so you guys can see why I didn't really film and how things went. Okay, for Chicago Pro, that show was a little tough for me. Right after San Jose, I had about 2 weeks. No, I actually had 1 week. Yeah, 1 week to deplete the food and then compete again in Chicago. So going into Chicago, you know, I was able to deplete the food. I don't think I was extremely depleted, but I was pretty depleted in terms of how I felt, you know. So going into that show, I had a full, you know, carb up process. I was checking in with my coach every single meal. Just based off of how I was looking, I filled out really, really quick compared to how I did in San Jose. So, you know, I had, you know, my burger the night of the show, and then I felt pretty good, you know, going to bed. Then I woke up. My coach wanted me to eat my first meal at 8 a.m. and prejudging actually started at, I believe 9 a.m. And we thought that I was going to get on stage around 11:30, 12, but I ended up getting on stage around like 10. So on the day of the show in Chicago, I only had one meal that morning, and then you know, I went to the venue where the show was located. Went backstage just to get an idea on, you know, the time frame we had, and then it was probably like 9:30 at this point, or 9:45, and then the one guy that's, you know, kind of directing and everything, he just told me, hey, you're gonna be getting on in 20 minutes. And then from there, I kind of knew, like, damn, like, one, I knew I wasn't filled out enough. Two, I needed like sodium. So from there, I just started eating some Pop-Tarts and rice cakes and stuff, and try to fill myself out with the time span I had. But, you know, that wasn't good enough. And as you can see, my placing for that show, I ended up taking, I think, 13th or 14th place. It's probably not one of my best placings, and I got pretty discouraged after that show. And I was looking at photos, and just based off of everything, I just felt like I wasn't really peaked the right way. And my coach and I were going to take time off from there and just focus on next year. But something in me was just like, damn, like, I can't end the season like this. You know, I have a lot of questions that I want answers for. You know, I was just curious myself, because I knew myself that I wasn't, you know, fully peaked. And, you know, I was focusing on Tampa as the main show for the year after the Arnold. Like that was the main show I really wanted to do, and you know, it took me a few days to think about it, and then once I decided, I reached out to my coach and was like, hey man, I want to do Tampa, and at first, you know, he was just thinking like, you know, I should get bigger and focus on growing, because that's what it looked like in Chicago. It looked like the guys were just a lot bigger, and a lot of them were. But once I kind of just gathered myself together and just told myself, hey, let's go do Tampa, my coach was all in for it as well. So we dieted down for that one. I did like maybe a little rebound after Chicago. You know, that night, you know, when my coach told me, hey, we should focus on growing and stuff. And on top of not really doing well, I ordered like pizza. I had like Ben and Jerry's ice cream, ton of cookies. Just, you know, just enjoyed myself. I was just kind of like, damn, you know, this kind of sucks. What else can I do? I'm here in Chicago. Keep in mind, I didn't get any content in Chicago because I was by myself and my girlfriend wasn't there with me, and I didn't really have anyone there to film for me. So I kind of just, you know, I was just like, fuck it, I'm not really gonna film anything here. Just try to focus on the show. Chicago didn't go too well. Got 13th or 14th there. So 2 weeks following Chicago Pro, I think it was 2 or 4, I forgot the time span, but I had a few weeks to prep for Tampa. And then you know, I started dialing in pretty good for Tampa. Felt really good leading up to the show. I believe it was, I think it was like 8 days out, my coach told me, hey man, you got to get your sleeping schedule on point, because if you want to peak properly, you know, we got to start waking up early to eat. Because keep in mind, my sleeping schedule was, I was waking up around 1 to 2 p.m. every single day, just because of, you know, traveling to my little cousin's show, and then I had a client competing two weekends, and I think there's a week in between, and then from there, you know, my sleeping schedule was just all over the place. So I try to adjust my sleeping schedule that last minute, that Monday. So I would go from eating my last meal around, I would say 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to waking up at 8 a.m. to force myself to wake up and eat that meal and then go on with my day. So my weight fluctuation was a little off at first, but then started getting back to normal. Then I drove up to Tampa. I was 3 days out, I believe. Drove up there. It was about 3.5, 4 hour drive. Get in Tampa, went to the Airbnb, settled in, and then woke up the next morning, you know, did my cardio and everything. And when I woke up, actually, I weighed myself. I was actually 194.5 or 0.8 pounds. I was like 194 to 195 pounds, which was heavy for me. I never even seen that on the scale, like since like after the show in Chicago. Because leading up to this point, I was probably 186 to 187 consistently waking up. So I think my body was just really stressed out from the driving and just not really getting that great of sleep. So, you know, I kind of just set the day to really relax myself, try to bring my cortisol levels down and made sure I got really good sleep. And then the following day, 1 day out from the show, I woke up at 186.8 pounds, I believe. So I lost about like 6-7 pounds overnight. But, you know, I obviously trained and did cardio that same day. I was woke up at 194. And, you know, that was definitely kind of scary in the sense that, like, you know, how my body can just drop that much weight. You know, I didn't use any diuretics, nothing out of the norm. Just let my body just rest and just, you know, do its own thing. And I actually woke up like really light, and I was kind of like, I was pretty happy, but in a way I was just kind of like, it's just so inconsistent, because now, like, how is this peaking process going to go? But thankfully I had my coach Ariel out in Tampa with me. He flew in, I believe, 2 days out, and he was on top of his game, making sure I was on point with everything, and he dialed me in, and we ended up taking 3rd place out of 32 competitors. And for me, like, the win for me, I mean, obviously I didn't qualify for Olympia, and, you know, making first qualifies at a show like that for me was already the win. But taking 3rd place was it was definitely a huge encouraging moment for me, just letting myself know that, you know, I'm capable of doing things if I really put my mind to it. And it also kind of just made me realize what I can do in the sport, you know. And I actually talked to Tyler Mannion. He's the VP of the IFBB now, and got some feedback from him. I usually never talk to judges or anything like that, but he actually reached out to my coach and out of nowhere and just kind of just said, like, you know, if I kept my core tighter, came in a little fuller, I would have done a little better. But I actually seen him. I went out with my buddy Kyle, RJ, my little cousin Jay, and we went to some bar out in Tampa, and I ran across him and I had a conversation with him, and he told me, you know, I was coming in a little tighter and maintain my posing, and, you know, it was really good feedback for me. And, you know, just with all this information and all the data collected up to this point from, you know, the show in Chicago, the show in Tampa. I didn't really film much in Tampa. I had all my friends come out to Tampa, and for this show, I kind of just wanted to enjoy myself and just enjoy the time I was there with my friends and just not really worry about filming and just have a good time, you know, because I haven't really seen these group of my friends in a while, so I kind of just wanted to just have a good time with them and just, you know, just not really worry about filming or anything. So the outcome of the show, took third place in Tampa. We collected a lot of data leading up to the show, and we'll be using it moving forward. Plans moving forward, I think I'm going to be shooting for Arnold Classic in 2020. You know, I was a little disappointed in myself for, you know, missing the meeting and not really being on top of all that stuff. And this time around, I'm going to give this one my all and really try to go for the win for the show. And, you know, the good thing about this show is I think it's the same judges from the Tampa, so they kind of already like my look as it is, so I just got to improve and show them that I'll make the improvements that they want, and hopefully I'll do well there. But, you know, that's just kind of a recap of what happened in Chicago and Tampa. Overall, I had a great experience in Tampa, you know, having my friends come out, support me, my coach, and just being able to meet everybody out in Tampa that really supported me. It was super cool to meet all of you guys, if you guys are watching this. Same thing goes with Chicago. Chicago was a pretty well organized show. I just had my timing off, and, you know, obviously we work under their terms of their show, so that's me, my coaches, and where we kind of made the mistake with the timing and all that stuff. So it's all a learning experience. At the end of the day, you know, you got to keep going forward and just keep trying to see what you can do to improve. And, you know, I could have gave up after Chicago and just, you know, had a ton of questions unanswered and went to the next year. You know, obviously I would always apply myself going into all these competitions, but with the data we collected and the feedback we got, you know, I think it's going to make it that much better. And I think me and my coach will definitely show you guys my best next year in 2020. But that's just going to wrap up this video. I kind of just want to give you guys a little recap on what happened. I will be filming more content leading up to Arnold Classic in 2020. These next few months, I'm going to focus on growing, you know, definitely my arms, get a bigger chest. Not going to get extremely big, like massively big, and do like a full-on off season and just walk around like bloated. My goal is to maintain my abs and slowly increase in weight, and, you know, obviously get stronger in the gym. That's the indications I'm going to be looking for, because, you know, I don't want to start a prep and just gain like 30 pounds but look like, you know, a water buffalo. My goal is to still look like, you know, I'm in shape, but gradually increase in weight, and hopefully that'll do the trick, and just prioritize my training around, you know, the muscle groups that I need to improve, like my chest, my arms, my legs, my calves definitely. But, you know, that's my plans moving forward, and I'll definitely be shooting some more content within these next few weeks. I have a new approach that I'll be trying out, you know, giving you guys more tips on how to grow a bigger chest, 3 tips on, you know, how to get a bigger back. Maybe I'll even do like a bench press challenge. Maybe how many reps can I get with 225 for under like 30 minutes. Some cool stuff like that, so you guys can see, you know, what I'm capable of doing. Because to be honest, I'm not really sure myself, so it'd be pretty cool to try it out. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed it, you know, subscribe below, shoot me a like, and appreciate you guys.
92, 93, 105, 108, 110, 119, 120, 121.
Let's go, Brian. Let's go, baby.
120, 120.
Let's go, Brian. Good job,
121 to 119 switch.
There you go.
Face the curtain.
That's it, Brian. That's it, Brian.
Face front.
Go 121. Brian, 92. 193. That's it, Brian.
Hold it.
Hold it, Steven.
Hold it.
Steven. Stay on it, Brian.
121 to 108 switch.
There you go.
Come on, Steven. 93.
Hold it, Steven.
Face the back.
Let's go, Ed. Move the mat.
Face front. 93 and 105 switch.
Let's go, Steven. Come on, Steven.
Face the
Hold it,
back.
Steve. Come on, Steve. 93.
Face front.
Come on, 93. Hold it, Steve. Hold it.